What's up, mighty and powerful people? I just got done recording like a 45-minute video and I had the mute button on, so I'm just gonna do this a little different because what I realized was that we are not able to accurately wrap our head around all of this, all of life, because we are given this lovely graphical user interface that only allows us to look at one thing at a time and specific things at that. For instance, we have all these charts, we have graphics, we have Twitter, we have YouTubes, we have more Twitter, you know, we have different charts and markets, and they all do different things. And that is my point. How am I able to show you the value of all of this when it's all scattered, especially with projects like Xoge, right? Like, and Reaper. Look, let me show you something real quick. Hold on, let me go to my profile because it's easier to find. I think it was right here. Mark Xoge. You guys know him if you're in the Xoge community. He posted this. Xoge is multi-chain. It's on Algorand, XRP, XLM. It's going to Hbar. So if you guys want or need any of these assets in the future, start paying attention to Xoge, because you're going to be able to get these assets simply by cloning over with Xoge and being a part of the Xoge community. We're finding utility. We have utility already, and it's just going to keep growing. But my point here is that how am I to show you this, right? Without going into our individual wallets, and we don't necessarily need to do that. I could just have this conversation with you, where I'm going with, because we need to do YouTube. I'm gonna have to do these YouTube videos to show you. And I actually already created a token, which I talked about in that 30 to 45 minute video that I did that was on mute, about why I wasn't posting videos in the past 4 months, and I just been focused on building a life of fulfillment, working on my relationships, my health, getting my body, mind, and spirit. Those are the 3 relationships to the nth degree, depending on how many different relationships you have personally formed with yourself. And we have to develop that fulfilled life. Especially if we're in this space, we get that opportunity, right? Like health, wealth, happiness, and relationships. Those are the 4 pillars right there, and we're in a position to do that. But it's hard to wrap our head around something so new like crypto when we are working to wrap our head around it, and then we talk to people who don't give any energy towards it, power towards it. They don't want anything to do with it, and that's totally fine. That's the life that they've chosen. That's the paradigm that they're going to fall into, which is working until they die, essentially. I mean, what else is it, right? At the surface. And I know this paradigm, right, going through crypto and cash flowing assets and real estate and going to the gym and eating healthy, like that's a lot of work. We're going to be working until we die too, but it's better work. It's going to allow us to live longer, have a healthier and happier relationships, and be wealthier. Like, that's what the other side of the paradigm dreams of, right? But they don't want to put in that work because they're too tired after putting in the work. And so the ones that aren't tired and are able, or maybe they are tired, but you're able to find that energy, you're able to muster that energy to put towards the other side of the paradigm, you get there. We get there together. And we need something going into the Web3, right? Which is the last video I used to, right here, right? This is the last video that I posted months ago. The world doesn't know what is coming, but you do, because you're in crypto. You see it. This is Web3, right? We're going to Web3, and we need to be able to work together to pull the resources, the data, to help each other wrap our heads around it. This way, we can make DYOR decisions for ourselves, in ways that works for ourselves, right? So I created this token. I wasn't planning on talking about this because I didn't talk about it in the 30-minute video, 30 to 45-minute video, but I created this token, and I see now more than ever how important this is going to be for all of this, because I didn't see it in the first video that I made when it was all on mute, but I see it now that it's just scattered. The data, the charts, which is also data. I mean, it's all just data. It's raw data that's scattered and presented in a specific manner. Just like, I mean, we got to do that here, right? We're taking raw data and we're filtering it out and presenting it in specific and unique ways. And in this case, forOmni, I talked about forOmni. I did talk about forOmni. It's for all. I think about forOmni all the time. I try to do things for all. forOmni all the time. I'm not trying to hurt anybody. I don't want to hurt anybody. I'm not trying to hurt myself. And I'm walking into that paradigm of having healthy relationships. And that starts with ourselves. And when we have healthy relationships with ourselves, we're able to reach out and help others. And when we do that in this way, specifically in a way of global reach, then we are able to have mass adoption. Not necessarily in crypto, although Web3 is crypto, and there will be mass adoption in crypto, but just in whatever it is that we're working on doing, right? Like, you have dreams, and oftentimes it has to do with creating value or capturing value or whatever, generating, creating. You want others to enjoy that. So you want others to adopt that enjoyment, and in order for them to do that, they have to want to and need to, right? Or have the need to want to. And so if you supply it and they demand it, then that's good. That works. So right here, I see the value of Xoge, right? I see the value of a lot of other coins as well, but Xoge, I see massive value in it. There's going to be massive utility that is going to get unlocked as the future unfolds. I mean, you don't get onto all these ISO 200,022 infrastructure networks and then just sit there, right? The community is a strong community. They're going to find utility. There's already ways to earn Xoge every day on Algorand, XRP, and soon to be XLM, as well as all these other ones as they come, because they already have DeFi capabilities built into it, unlike XLM and XRP where they had to be built with coins like StakeX and stuff like that. So to be able to see this from afar and get into position to capture that takes wrapping your head around all of this, which is what I'm trying to do, is help you wrap your head around this so you can see that you have to get into position now, right? Like, if you've already missed Algorand and XLM, it's okay. We're just getting started. Like, you can get all the way over here to core and it's still probably going to be okay, because we're still just getting started. I'm sure there's going to be ISO 200,022 coins that come into that standard. I'm sure. And it's just a matter of whether or not the community wants to go there or not. And so in that last video that I was muted, I talked about this. There was a point where, let me actually pull it up, right? So as you can see, Reaper is on Pitru, and around the time when Reaper got listed and SoloGen got listed and all these other XRPL tokens got listed, Classy had asked us if we think it's a good idea to go to an exchange like Pitru, and the community responded with a resounding no. Let's stay decentralized. And at that point, what I wonder, Classy, what I wonder, because I think this is a question specifically for you, or maybe even Ceaseless, because Ceaseless, you know, man, y'all did it. I wonder if cloning over to these networks were even on your mind. Like, was that even a thought, right? Or was it just like, let's see what the community wants to keep it decentralized, or go to an exchange? And with that resounding no, that's after that is then when these clone overs started, or not it even took probably a couple months after that, because we just got to Algorand this month, or this summer of 2022, and we just got to XLM like within the week. So this is all just new. It's all new stuff. And I know a lot of you are trying to wrap your head around this, because we have to. The technology is still new. This project, this company, right? It's a company. Xoge LLC is still new, but very much so performing, and outperforming at that. I mean, there's another image. Let me see if I can find it real quick, that shows you just how far the initial investors have came. I mean, we're talking mega returns. Like, if you just put in 2,736 at the beginning, not a lot of you did. I know I didn't, because you would have had 5 trillion. Then, and you held that 5 trillion and just did that, like didn't set up the snacks trust line or the NFTs or any of that, you'd be sitting around 71,000, right? So this is just starting. You know, there's going to be a Xoge Hbar, Xoge Quant, Xoge Cspr, Xoge Flare, Xoge Core, and whatever else. I mean, sky's the limit. Legitimately, sky's the limit. This is for the people. This is one of the more decentralized projects around. I mean, if you know of another one, show me. I would love to see it, because in wrapping my head around all this, I truly see the value of investing in projects, companies, tokens that are for the people, not necessarily for enterprise, not necessarily for government. Although the way that this was built, being that it's on the infrastructure networks, this is a very solid position. Xoge is able to do things that Shib isn't able to do, as well as Doge. So Xoge could very well flip Doge, right? If there's a flipping in anything, and you're going to compare these to anything, compare them to what they're compared to. We know who the founder of this project is. The team. I mean, you know, they came and showed their face on the very first video. You can find it on Classy Xoge's YouTube channel. Shib didn't do that. Doge didn't do that until later. I think they finally showed who did it. But my point is that these speculation tokens are doing what Bitcoin can't, what XRP can't. Like, Xoge is on XRP, on the XRP ledger, and it's doing what XRP isn't able to do, although XRP is paving the way, and because of that is going to further cement Xoge into the infrastructure, because that's what it's being built to do. And so no matter where people in the future come from, they're going to land on the infrastructure networks at some point or another, and they are going to see Xoge. Whether they capitalize on that opportunity or not is a completely different story. But the way I see it, Xoge is perfectly positioned for future utility that will be found within the community. and the community is going to build that utility. Just like, I mean, Reaper was created, right? And they are reaping Xoge. It's hardless. They're creating they're creating a whole nother token called Ascension, and they're gonna hardless Xoge. Like, Xoge is gonna be involved in that too. So they're gonna be burned and bought and distributed to the Ascension and Reaper token holders. So there is an ecosystem within an ecosystem that has specific utility on the infrastructure portfolio, which is your hedge against your savings, essentially. Like, people that are losing money, they're going from fiat to speculative assets that are like on Ethereum or wherever else they are. Or they're just not good projects, not a solid team. They didn't do the research with the right mindset, right? They were chasing. And so if you only held infrastructure tokens, right? Let's go back to this picture. If you only held, where's it at? Oh, I think I went away from it. Well, I'm looking for that one again, where it shows the ISO 200,000 tokens, 2022. If you only hold these ones, right, instead of having a savings and you just have these, then you're gonna do it's gonna perform superior to your savings, first of all. But in the event that the market does continue to go down, well, it's your savings and you're not supposed to use it, like, not even in a, you're just supposed to sit on it. So in the long term, it will still outperform your savings. But if no buts, and if you took the speculative route and invested in Xoge, then you can catch the clone overs. So like, if you go get Xoge right now on XLM, you can fill out the Hbar form and you'll have Xoge on Hbar like within a couple months, and then you could sell your Xoge Hbar for Hbar, and then you'll have more Hbar, and then the same thing will go for Quant, right? I mean, you'll probably have to hold, not probably, you will have to hold on to your Xoge Hbar to get Quant Xoge and then Cspr Xoge. Like, you're gonna have to hold these, but that's okay, because Xoge is gonna be on all these networks, interoperating with all these networks, because they all interoperate with these networks as well. And there's just going to be massive utility unlocked, because we, the people, are creating that. I don't even want to say me. I like the people of the Xoge community, like, not me. Like, you should see the work that that they're putting in. These people, man, the Xoge community, it's one of the strongest communities I've seen, where they are building things, not just promoting and sitting on the sidelines. Like, I feel terrible for sitting on the sideline, because I have been, but like I was talking in my other video that I was muted on, I had to get my life back, because I was losing it. Not because of my crypto positions, because I got some good positions, but just because my relationships with myself and with others, I was in a depressed state, and I didn't want to bring that over into this, for a lot of reasons, I guess. I didn't want to show my that vulnerable side, although maybe I should have, because then you would have been able to see the tremendous growth that has occurred from that state, right? And which is going to allow me to go further, faster, harder, longer, in just a beast of a way. And so in that, I did not make videos, as I was saying, but I did manage to do things, right? Like, I went to the Apex Summit, which was an eye-opener, huge eye-opener. They weren't even really trying to talk about other tokens. They were just focused on the XRP ledger for good reasons. But they definitely heard about Xoge and Reaper, probably more so than others, and more so than they would have liked to admit. And in that, I participated in one of the events, the XRPL zone, I think is what they called it, where we had to create something, and I created forOmni, the token, because I have been living every day for the past year thinking about you guys, ladies and gentlemen, and how we can build globally, 24/7, 365. Because the markets are 24/7, 365, and they're global. And transactions occur while we sleep, while we're awake, while we're away, while we are spending time with our family, while we're eating at the table, while we are at the gym, while we are doing anything and everything. And so to be able to tap into that on a collective level, that's when we are going to further evolve. And you see that in the Xoge and Reaper companies, projects, tokens, community. You see that we are all uniting. I mean, they have a block oversight, ladies and gentlemen, and that has other projects in it. Like, I should be talking about them as well. I apologize for not, because you have Schmeckles, you have Treasury, you have a lot. There's quite a bit. I'm doing a disservice by not calling them off the top of my head, but most of these are them. If not, there's more. But I know for sure Xoge, Schmeckles, Treasury, XStig, Extreme, those are definitely in there, and these are all hard slotted as well on this Ascension token for the Reaper Financial. And so these have all found utility together, which I think is even more important. See right here, you can see the Block Leadership Oversight Council, right? And so that's a big thing. I know we don't talk about it a lot, but that is actually a very big thing, because it's a community. It's a community within a community that supports communities within the ecosystem of the ecosystems, just on the XRP ledger. And then you have Xoge that's going to all of the other networks, right? Where's it at? Well, I don't know where it's at. It's down here somewhere. I keep bouncing back and forth. But all these networks, and as Xoge goes to these networks, these communities find Xoge, and then they find what Xoge is doing, and then they see that it's working with Reaper, and yeah, it just changes. It changes everything. There's a paradigm shift that is occurring, and you're not able to see it if you're just looking at Twitter, or just looking at a crypto chart, or just looking at one specific thing. Like, it takes all of it, and you have to wrap your mind around it all. And we want to help you with that. So if you have any questions, you need help wrapping your head around anything, let us know. Preferably, I'd like to keep it around ISO 200,022, around these tokens, as well as Xoge and Reaper and all those other ones. But we're open to helping with anything, because it's important that you find out how to work with crypto, wrap your head around it, and adopt it so you can get into the paradigm of your choice, and you can build healthy relationships with yourself and others, and in turn just be wealthy, right? Because the healthier your relationship is with your body, mind, and spirit, the wealthier you are, the happier you are, and the more you are able to achieve in a fulfilled sense. So I hope you all have a mighty and powerful day.